What is going on, buddy? Welcome back to All Things Film. Today I'm here to do my review of Fear the Walking Dead Season 4 Episode 12 titled Weak, directed by Victor Strand himself, Coleman Domingo. But before I do get into the episode, if you aren't caught up with Fear the Walking Dead or you haven't seen the episode, here's your spoiler warning. But other than that, let's begin. So I'm going to get this out of the way and quickly say it. I honestly did not think this episode was that good. I mean, it was okay. There was definitely some stuff that I liked in it, and I thought that were cool and interesting. But for the most part, I thought it was kind of slow and almost boring, but I'm gonna get through all that throughout this review. But let's start off in the beginning. So this episode was mainly following Al and June, and then also a little bit of Morgan, Jim, Wendell, and Sarah, those new characters in Morgan. So yeah, just honestly, I mean, it was basically throughout the whole episode they were just kind of communicating and trying to get to each other. And well, June was specifically trying to look for John, which she didn't do, but she found Morgan. And I think maybe the reason why I'm so impatient and thought this episode was super slow and boring is because I kind of know what direction Fear is headed in, and that's because they released that big trailer at Comic-Con, and there was literally a scene with June, Morgan, Wendell, and Sarah in it, and it just this episode that the group finally got back together. So maybe that's why I'm kind of impatient, because I know what direction they're headed in. But the storytelling is slow, but there are some character-driven stuff that I did like in this episode. For example, one of them was the Al situation when June was talking to Al about, you know, her story and why she's so attached to the truck. I did like that just because we don't get enough. I mean, I think Al is a pretty cool character. I mean, and we just didn't really get enough of her because, yeah, it's right. Like, she is attached to other people's stories. Like, she wants to cover what other people are talking about. And she said something like, and she said, there was like a line that she said. She was like, you know, I'm so busy covering other people's stories that I don't have my own. Something like that. And I like that scene because it's kind of like shows the character well, because that's really who she is, you know. Because when she first met Morgan and John, you know, they didn't really ask too much about her because she was busy trying to interview them. In this episode, yeah, they're basically on the road trying to get connection with this walkie-talkie, and the walkie-talkie was kind of annoying to me because if you think about it, like the majority of this episode was Morgan trying to find somewhere to talk on the walkie-talkie, and Al and June trying to find somewhere to talk with the walkie-talkie. Like, I was getting annoyed by that. And maybe part of that is because, like I said earlier, I know what direction Fear is headed in. So there wasn't much with the new characters this episode, just because they were just hanging out on the road while Morgan was trying to get connection. But I want to talk about that new character, because the girl who was riding, you know, on the walkers, because I think she's pretty creepy and terrifying. And one of the things that I'm most excited for in Fear, because I want to know what's up with that character. But I want to talk about something specifically that she did, and I was filling up the water bottles with dirty water. And I did like that because it was showing how evil her character truly is. But that being said, I kind of wish they made the connection with Al, because Al got sick this episode. She was on the road with June, and then she just started getting a fever. She threw up, and they didn't really focus on what got her sick. They said, like, oh, maybe it was blood pressure, and then maybe you know, because she said she hasn't been on the road for a while because she's been pretty stable, so maybe that's why she got sick. And then by the end of the episode, she was already feeling better. So they didn't really talk about what really got her sick, and it probably wasn't a big deal. But what I'm saying is, I wish they kind of made that connection, because even June told Morgan later on, like, hey, didn't you guys are the one who were putting up those boxes with the food and water to take what you need, leave what you don't? And Morgan was like, yeah, we're trying to help people. So June and Al saw those boxes, so I wish maybe Al went up to a box and like took some water and drank it, and maybe when she got sick, we would have made that connection, like, oh shit, you know. Then they could have showed the new character putting dirty water in the water bottles, and we would have been like, oh shit, you know, that's why she got sick. Like, I don't know, it's not that big of a deal, but I thought that would have been a pretty cool connection, because there are some stuff they could have done better in this episode. But let's talk about the new character, Quinn. So Quinn wasn't that big of a character. He was tied with the end of the episode, which I thought was pretty cool, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. But so basically, Al and June ran out of food and water, so they left the truck to go look for food and water, and Quinn hijacked, you know, Al's truck. And I had a lot of problems with this sequence, which really bugged me. First one being that I don't understand why Al didn't take the recordings with her, because they obviously meant so much to her that she was crying, and she even lied to Al, or she lied to June saying, please go get the medicine, that wasn't even there, just so that she can go get the recordings, or I mean go get the truck which had her recordings and her stuff. And then I just don't understand why she didn't bring them with her, because it obviously meant that much to her. And they were so small, they were just in a little box. They could have just stuffed them in your backpack or just carried them by hand. It was just super small. I just felt like that was super out of character, because it meant so much to Al that I feel like a character like that, like I feel like she shouldn't have taken it. Like I don't understand why she did it. It just felt super out of character to me. But so basically June went back to go get it, and then she ran into Quinn, and then Quinn and her had a little bit of a problem. Nothing too major. She talked in the walkie-talkie to Al, and then Al told her that she was lying about it, and then she made her way back to Al. But I didn't get the ending when she was like, okay, when they finally got the they finally got some connection, and they heard Morgan's voice in the walkie-talkie, and then she was like, okay, let's go, it's 50 miles this way. And then Al made a big deal, being like all dramatic, like, nah, I think I'm gonna go back and get it. And then she walked literally like 10 feet. Okay, this part I did not understand at all. So if I'm missing it, if I miss something, please comment down below. But to me, this just seems super weird to me, because she walked like 10 feet back, and then Al started driving away, or no, excuse me, Al walked away, and then June, I keep mixing up the names, June started driving off, and then as soon as she started driving off, Al started shooting in the sky, and then Al got in the truck, and they both drove to Morgan. Like, I don't understand. Like, what was the point of her being dramatic there? Like, unless I missed something, like I'm saying. I feel like I did, because that did not make any sense to me. Like, she just walked off, and then as soon as, like, was she thinking June was gonna turn around and help her? Because June didn't turn around and help her. She went off on her own, or like she went off in another direction, and then Al started shooting in the sky. Like, wow, never mind, I'll just come with you. Like, forget the truck. Like, I didn't understand that whole part. It just felt so weird to me. And then also, let's talk about the ending, because I did like the ending. I thought it was pretty cool. There was one thing about the ending that I didn't like, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But so basically, June got in connection with Quinn, and then told him to come to, I think it was like Highway 27 or something. And I did like this, because this was like a really like, whoa, this is pretty cool, because they were on the wrong highways, and then Quinn started peeling off the sign, and then it was the girl, the new character, who put up put a sticker on there to make it look like Highway 27, but I think it was like really Highway 21 or something. And that was pretty cool. And I was like, when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, this new character is actually pretty smart and actually evil. And then he turned around, and then the girl put a walker in his face, and then he died. The one problem I had here was the walker did not make any sound at all. And I was like, I don't understand why the walker wouldn't make any sound. Like, she wasn't covering the mouth or anything. So that was like the only problem I had with that. I mean, I guess it's not a big problem, but it's also a big problem, because that shouldn't be a mistake, because The Walking Dead has been a thing for almost 10 years. Like, I think fans know that walkers make sound. So I feel like it was a little weird that the walker didn't make a sound. But then, yeah, I did like it. You know, it shows the girl is kind of, I'm actually kind of terrified of this new character. And I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, what's up with her. So that was probably the best part about the episode, in my opinion. The new character. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what's up with this new character. And I can't wait for the whole group to be back together. It looks like next week is going to be John, Luciana, and Strand. But I'm going to wrap it up there for this episode. In the comments down below, be sure to leave your thoughts and opinions of what you thought about this episode. Stay tuned for my episode 13 predictions that should be out later today. And I hope you guys did enjoy the video. And for daily Fear the Walking Dead and Walking Dead videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And it's been All Things Film. And until next time, peace.